When you have hair loss, it can be such a scary and deceivingly lonely place. But you know what? You're not alone. You are here with me. Welcome to the Alternative Hair Alchemist podcast. Hi, I'm Debra Heim. I am a certified alternative hair specialist, a wig boutique owner, and wig wearer myself due to alopecia. And this is my Tell It Like It Is take on all things alternative hair. I also happen to be a certified confidence coach, so I'm going to be sprinkling in some mindset hacks for good measure. So take a deep breath, sit back and relax, and listen to my favorite ways and my best advice on how I help others and help myself to rock that alternative hair. We're going to drop that shame and stigma. What is that about anyway? Now, let's do this. Hello, lovely people, and this is Debra Heim, and you're listening to the edition of the Alternative Hair Alchemist, where I give you all the details and my thoughts on my haul of super inexpensive wigs from various sources. But when I say super inexpensive, I mean $10 US or less. I really wanted to check them out, and I'm always going to tell you honestly my thoughts. And spoiler alert, I was actually pleasantly surprised. So that's what we will be talking about this week on the Alternative Hair Alchemist. And one of the reasons I was hesitant to try was because in my own alternative hair journey, even as short, 10 years ago, when I ventured into the lesser expensive wigs, which were available like at your beauty supply store. But even those now, by these standards, are way more expensive than what you can get for $10. Like a beauty supply store wig at the time was like maybe $39, $49, along those lines. So those were really cheap looking. Let's just say that. Like, you would be able to tell that wig on somebody's head that it definitely was a wig. Well, I'll tell you, everything I ordered today, if you don't know what you're looking for, if you saw it on somebody's head, you would not know that it was a wig, because the hair fiber or the synthetic that they're using nowadays, I'm telling you, the technology has advanced. I tell people, forget what you think synthetic means, because the technology on these things, it's almost like as advanced as cell phones. Like in the 80s, you had a phone that you used to dial up on the wall, and now everything that phones do. Same thing with your lesser expensive wigs. The fiber, or AKA hair on it, is so much nicer now, and a lot more people are putting out the heat stylable alternatives, which my thoughts on that is a whole nother podcast, but it does come in handy for most women to be able to use a little bit of a flat iron tool or a hot tool. So that's the plus on that side. Some people think that the Heat OK alternative hair tangles a bit more. I personally think it all tangles, whether or not it's Heat OK or just regular synthetic. But anyway, that is a debate for another time. But most people either really like the one or the other. The biggest difference between these wigs and something that I might have in my shop was definitely the construction. These wigs were quite a bit heavier. The cap sizes were really irregular. Some fit small, some fit large, and to an extent you're going to get that with your better brand wigs, but this was like really extreme. Some fit me pretty well, and I don't have a tiny head, but most of them were really, really large. And the thing is, if you start off with this level alternative hair, and that's how it fits your head, the danger is you would think that they all fit like that. And I've had women in my shop that until they got a wig on their head that was properly fitted to their head, they thought wigs were supposed to be where you have to use a band or pins or something to keep it on, and that's simply not the case. But if you're going to look great for $10, I say do what you have to do, because really, for a $10 wig, everything I got was definitely wearable. Now, when I say about construction, on the top where they make it look like it's got a mono part, or you'll have that little area of scalp appearing, plastic. Some of them were really phony looking. But you know what? You can wear a headband on top of that. If you're talking about just running around on a weekend to the shop or whatever you're going to do, these are definitely worth checking out. And you know what? It's kind of fun to spend a few dollars and then wait. And it's almost like getting yourself a gift, or at least that's the way I look at it when I shop online, some of these shops. One big thing on the construction that I noticed is the top of the wig and the wig itself. Okay, if you have your rows of hair or your wefting, it tends to be a little bit like heavy, thick material. The overall weight of these wigs was a lot heavier than something that's, hand tied and up to date. But still, again, for the price, if you want to change your look or try a new color, I say go for it. And the inside adjustments on every one of these, they were the old-fashioned hook and eye type closure at the bottom, where I'm sure, well, you may never know what I mean if you simply started with something like bell tress that has the little pull tab adjustments inside the back. Most of them nowadays have either Velcro or the pull tab adjustment. Some wigs still do have that hook and eye system, but it's becoming less and less. But most of these, were constructed that way. And really, if you think about it, who cares? Nobody's going to see the inside of your wig. But you could do a couple of things. They make those little combs that you can sew in to help keep it on. Headband will help keep it on. But they do, sometimes the hook and eye closure will pop out, which could present a problem if it's loose already and then it popped out. So, just be aware of that. You can also modify the inside of your wig. And like I said, if you're getting a bargain for less than $10, totally worth it, in my opinion. And I say that about any wig in general. Any wig that you get that you really think, oh, I hate this. And I was thinking about this myself these past weeks. I have had wigs that if I had been able to return them, I would have, because when I got home, put it on, looked at myself in the mirror, I was immediately convinced, oh, this was a bad choice. It looks like a wig. But you know what? I wasn't able to return it. So after a certain number of times when I would get my courage up and found that this one does look good, because when you go out and you get the compliments, that gives your confidence so much more of a boost. But once the compliments start rolling in, it would become one of my favorite styles. So anytime you get one that you're not totally happy with, just keep in mind there's always something you can do. If not, try maybe a resale group. That's an option. Now, I can't give you names of what I got, because when you go to these companies, isn't really a name, because they do a lot of white labeling and the names can change from time to time. But I will post a few pictures of some of my better choices, and maybe even a few of the ones that I'm like, probably won't wear it, but it was sure fun to order it for $5 or $6. So I will put pictures in the Wise Wig group, advice group on Facebook, and you can see that definitely from the picture, and I'll even say in person, it's definitely worth it. Because for trial and error purposes, and any alternative hair journey is going to have trial and error, so just get okay with that. I've talked about it before. Don't beat yourself up if you choose something that doesn't work. But anyway, when the cost is this low, you can try all kinds of things. If you want to try something short, you can try something short. If you like straight and you want to try wavy, it's not going to kill you to just give it a try at that price. I say, why not? And if you had told me, even as short as 4 years ago, that I would be doing a podcast episode giving the go ahead to a $5 or $10 wig, I would have thought you were nuts. But here we are. And I love when I try new things because maybe there's somebody out there that has been thinking about ordering them, but skeptical. Even though it's a low price, sometimes you just don't want to take that chance. I say your chances are better than not doing it. So, you have my blessing to go ahead on that. Don't let it stop you from getting yourself something that you really, really love. That when you put it on, you look in the mirror, you get that boost of, yeah, I look great. Confidence, that's what it's all about. You certainly should be treating yourself as if you were the best person in your life, because you should be. So hopefully I've given you the courage to try something new at a great, great price. And until next episode, peace, love, and alternative hair. If you enjoyed this episode, you might like working with me one-on-one even better. You can check out the options at debraheim.com. You can find my shop at verybestlittlehairhouse.com. And don't forget my Wise Wig Advice and Support group, also on Facebook. I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, peace, love, and alternative hair.